what's up? It's Chris from CheckMyDesigns.com. Welcome to episode 3. Yes, man, episode 3 of my mini design podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 design interview questions. Let's go ahead and get right on into it. Question 1 is always, what is your process? It's quite subjective to whoever you're talking to, right? But at the end of the day, there is no right answer to this question whatsoever. Just explain as simple as possible, how do you get your work done without giving none of your special sauce away, right? So remember that. Do not give your special sauce away when it comes to this certain question, because a lot of companies will internalize that and then basically just pass it on to somebody else. Like you don't want to give away free game, right? Don't give away free game in that aspect. So let's go ahead and move up right on in question 2. So why this company? What you really want to say is, look, I need a damn job. That's the only reason why I applied for this goddamn company. Let's be honest, okay? But you know, you have to give them what they want to hear. And what they want to hear is, my resume and my core values really align with this company. And, I really read the job description thoroughly, and I believe I can be a valued asset when given this opportunity, right? But what you really want to say is, hey, I can do the damn job. Y'all hiring. That's why I applied. Actually, I mass applied. And what is the job description again? Right. So, just say something like that to when it comes to the fact that, hey, my core values align with the company's goals. The job duties also align with my resume and skill set that I've been doing for many years. And I can also be a valued asset when given the opportunity. I like to always add that, at every single interview I have. It's like, hey, thank you for the interview. Thank you for your time. And also would like to let you know I will be a valued asset for this company when given the opportunity. So I kind of like to just, put it back on them and things like that. And we're going to go ahead and when it comes to question 3, if you had to pick development or design, or if you had to pick in general, what are your best attributes as an employee? Like, what is your number one thing that you're good at? A lot of companies like to do this and also pigeonhole you into a certain position. So, for example, say if you were going for a lead design position, lead UX design, lead UI, things like that, they're going to ask you, well, out of all your skill sets, research, graphic design, development, app design, process creation, things like that, what do you do best? I do best at what I just told you, which is everything, because I pride myself on being a full, well-rounded designer, quote unquote, right? Don't allow the employer, and in this case, the interviewer, to pigeonhole you. So I like to say, I have a broad skill set, and this position can utilize my entire skill set from research, design, all the way to front-end development. See what I kind of did there? Look, I would say, hey, look, 1, I'm not going to pick. But I say, in a nice sort of way, right? I'm not going to pick. 2, I'm more than what you're trying to make me out to be, which is some people just, there's certain questions like that are meant to just deviate you from the path of actually getting a job. Because if you said, hey, my favorite thing is to create processes for apps. Well, guess what? You're only going to be doing that 10% of the time over here. So let's go ahead and find somebody else that we do like better, right? But you're still able to do the job and have no problems with doing the job in the first place. So just be mindful of of things like that right there, right? We're gonna go ahead and move on into question 4. Now I kind of have a lot of gripes with this question. I see that you had a lot of contracts in the past. Why are you applying for a full-time position? I personally want to say that has to be the dumbest damn question in the world. Why am I applying for a job, right? That's like asking me, why am I paying my bills this month? Makes no sense. But, these interviewers like to ask stupid questions like that, or they frame it as, well, you have a lot of contracts, and this is a full-time position, so I'm afraid you're going to leave. Number 1, need a job. Number 2, if the job is for me and I like the team, I'm not going to leave, right? So let's go ahead and, dive deeper on that when it comes to the fact that can also be a trick question. A lot of interviewers are looking for an exit question, and that may be one of the exit questions. So you have to, make them, quote unquote, feel a bit more comfortable for no apparent reason when it comes to that. Because when the interviewers forget that they once did a contract and also may have got it in a full-time position, right? And if you know the the industry that we're in, which is design, UX, UI development, things like that, there are a lot of different contracts out there. Just because I took them, I made a lot of money. So me taking contracts says that I'm able to keep employment for a very long time, consistently, no matter what, right? Contracts in, poof, let's go ahead and find another one. Contracts in, let's go ahead and find a full-time job, things like that. So kind of use that talking point to your advantage and saying, hey, I'm able to keep a job and I'm able to consistently sharpen my skills. So I'm used to working in fast-paced environments and things like that. So, asking a person why you took a contract, again, is like asking them, why did you pay your bills this month? Contracts are good. Full-time jobs are good. A lot of these companies out here do a contract to hire and never hire you. You get what I'm saying? A lot of these companies for real would do a contract to hire and keep extending the contract. But they told you in the beginning that, hey, 3 months, it's going to be full-time. You're going to convert it to full-time. A year and a half later, you never get converted. So please keep that with an open mind, especially to all those recruiters or interviewers out there. Man, a job is a job, man. If it's a contract, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it is a job. I gain more experience or exposure when it comes to high-level clientele or, high-level companies that I'm working with. So that's all that matters. If I'm applying for a full-time position, it shouldn't matter if I take a contract 5 or 6 times throughout my career. So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and move on to question 5. Any questions for me? The interviewer, at that time is going to ask you, do you have any questions for that person or the company, right? And they will try their best to answer all of these type of questions. So let's go ahead and dive a little deeper into this. When it comes to this, I like to open the format up of, we'll open that question up and say, first 90 days, what does it look like I'm doing? I understand that I understand the job description, but I would also like to understand a clearer point of view or clearer understanding of what's needed for or from me within the first 90 days. And they will go through that whole onslaught. Then in that case, you will find out the job description is a little bit different from what they actually want and need out of somebody. So that is an important question to ask. Within the first 90 days, what is it looking like? Are there a bunch of fires everywhere? Because if there are a bunch of fires everywhere, I need to know this because I'm coming into a bad situation and I need to know how to navigate this so I can be as successful as possible within the circumstances. Question 5, sub-question 2, right? Or the question I would ask in this case is this, okay, if the company is a startup, I would most definitely ask, hey, is this company fully funded? Because if it's not, I need to know right now. Because if it's not fully funded, I'm getting off this call. I'm not even saying goodbye or thank you. I'm leaving the call. I've have a lot of experiences dealing with non-funded companies or companies that say they're funded and they're really not. If the company is a larger company, and they're not, I would say they're like one of the large, slower or large, less innovative companies, I just would like to ask and point out, hey, is the design team important to the company's growth and success? See, a lot of these humongous companies have got on the design train pretty slowly. So they're trying to adapt fast to, we need a brand new design team. We don't know where to go with the product, things like that, because a lot of these products, a lot of these SaaS-based systems were only built and designed by developers. So now they're, trying to get, art minds or, design mindsets integrated within their team. Okay. And one of the other things that I would ask, what are the tech and design stacks that you guys use? Are we talking about Figma, Adobe XD? Do you guys use userflow.com, things like that, right? So it's like, hey, what system do you guys use? Because we might be talking about they use a different CMS, right? You only might have experience in dealing with Acquia or Sitecore. Okay, they use Adobe AEM. So it now is best for you to know right now, what do they use on the back end so you can, familiarize yourself, throughout the entire time of trying to get hired onto this position, go on YouTube, things like that, find whatever information that you need to find. So when you start, you're not already behind the 8-ball. You get what I'm saying? So also, one thing I do like to ask, what are the personalities of the team and what is the best way to communicate with the same team? this is a major question because there's a lot of assholes out there. There's a lot of passive aggressive people out there. And I would like to know before coming onto the team, who am I dealing with, right? What guy or what woman in this case is the person that you don't even want to talk to, or what person will make it difficult to help integrate within the team. There's always a couple of them that makes it difficult for the new person to integrate in the team. So coming knowing that, is this a fast-paced environment? A lot of people say this is, a fast-paced environment. Certain companies are fast companies, right? They move fast. Other companies that claim that they're a fast-paced or that they have a fast-paced environment just have no organization. So remember that also. Is this a fast-paced environment, or does this company not have any organization, which makes it seem like it's a fast-paced environment? That is a major one right there. And another question that they're going to ask, question six. Where do you find the inspiration? Now, with my answer, I usually say, I kind of find it from, inspiration from my previous projects. And I like to, look back on what I did before, so it makes what I'm doing in the future a little bit better. That's what I like to say. What they really want to say is they want you to go find all of these, other designers online and say that, hey, I like their portfolio also. I'm not concerned personally with anybody else's portfolio but my own. I look at the top tier companies. I look how they do their design, and I try in some cases to mimic that design or do like some type of mock design every once in a while to sharpen my skills. But personally, me, I'm not on the web searching for everybody else's portfolio. I've been in the industry for over 17 years. I'm not going to do that now. Question 7, tell me about a project that you're most proud of. I like to start this answer off with, I'm proud of mostly every project I've ever done, right? Every project, or a product in this case, allows me to sharpen my skills for the next product or project. So depending on how the interview goes, or depending on, how I can visually see how this person is receiving my answer, I may or may not give a major name and say, hey, well, I've designed for a company or for a product like Stanley Black & Decker X, right? They have a app called Track It. I've literally designed this app. Name bigger companies depending on, or bigger products depending on how the interview goes. So you want to also, and doing that may help gain the attention of the interviewer. You want to keep them engaged with, bullet points here and there, right? Whenever you see they're trying to fade away, hey, did you know that I led design for this company, or, whatever company that you led design for? Basically, in the interview, it is your job to brag about your skill sets. Don't be humble in an interview. Being humble in an interview would not get you the job. It is your time to sell yourself. So go ahead and sell yourself to the best of your abilities. Now, other people are better than others, but it is your main goal to sell. You are a salesperson in an interview. Remember that. No matter whatever you do, I don't care if you're a doctor, lawyer, design, developer, whatever. You are a salesman in an interview. Remember that, right? Let's go ahead and dive on to question 8 is, how do you work with cross-functional teams like developers, project managers, product owners, copywriters, other designers, things like that, right? So your answer should be geared towards more of a liaison role for the certain answer, because you want to show them your communication skills and the fact that, hey, I've managed large meetings. Basically, the big takeaways are, tell them that, hey, I'm used to working with each and every team, right? And here's examples of me working with a copyright team. Here's examples of me working with other, fellow designers or developers. And here's also examples of me meeting with the business to gain more information when it comes to creating brand new features on the timeline or roadmap. So things like that will make it a bit easier when it comes to explaining your cross-functionality. Really pivot the question or pivot your answer to a more of a liaison type of question. Share your communication skills. This is big. Show your communication skills, because as a designer, lead, or a director, things like that, no matter what position you're in, you need to be able to communicate with other teams as easy as possible. So go ahead and remember that. And let's go ahead and get into question 9. What apps do you admire? Now with this question, your answer is subjective, right? But just play along and talk about the top trending apps or websites out there, right? You may want to give 1 or 2 reasons on why someone may like this app. Now, you may not like the app at all. Let's be honest, okay? You may not even thought about it like that, but let's go ahead and give, that example, because they're looking for something, right? So the best way to give an example of this is to talk about some of the main features or the design on why you may like a particular button and the reasons why they did it. So when it comes to, that question of what app or what website do you admire, point to those little examples. And one of my last questions when it comes to your top 10 interview questions is, how do you hand off a particular project? When it comes to this, I would say that every company is different in their handoff process. So I would like to say that up front. And by saying it up front, it's letting you know that, hey, this isn't like a cookie cutter type of question. So in my experiences, companies would like to see X, Y, Z. Now, if you would like to see something else, please let me know. But I also do dive into giving certain examples, like saying, to cause less confusion for the developers and or the product managers or product owners on the team, I give annotations, full-fledged annotations for every single element and page that I have designed. Okay, that is key. Giving annotations lets the developers and the product owners know, hey, this element means something. You give proper definitions for each and every section. That's going to allow non-tech people or non-designers to properly understand your mindset and what that page or element was actually supposed to do at that precise moment, right? I also like to provide full-fledged source files and codes like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, you may not be a JavaScript person. Most designers will not hand off JavaScript. So remember that. That is not, a mandatory thing. But if you're designing in Figma, Figma does also export HTML and CSS. So I will personally use that to my advantage. And what design platforms do companies use the most? Now, as of 2023, 2024, going into 2024, a lot of companies use Figma, right, as their main design tool. It's a little cheaper than Adobe XD or the entire Adobe Creative Cloud. Now, other companies use Sketch, Adobe XD, like I said before. If I was new to the design world, I would first learn Figma and also Photoshop. Figma and Photoshop are going to go hand in hand, okay? And this is just talking about design. This isn't talking about putting everything together, when it comes to a development standpoint. Now, if you're really new and you would like to, give it an extra step, go ahead and add HTML, CSS, master those until you move on to JavaScript. Now, Chris, what JavaScript are you talking about? A lot of companies in today's day use React. A lot of companies use Node. Really, just learn the bare bone basics of JavaScript and let the front end or let the back end developers do their job, because it's their job to develop, not yours. You design the entire process when it comes to the flow chart and create and help create features lists and the roadmap, right? That is your job. Roadmap, features list, design, we knock stuff out, we make it look sexy. You guys put it together. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the Check My Designs podcast. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, please drop a comment below in one of my videos, one of my shorts, anything like that. I will be making videos about the questions that you guys asked. Now, one thing when it comes to my channel, I'm going to give you guys the real. Seriously, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to give you guys the real. And as you see, when I was answering these questions, I gave you a little bit of an insight to what the interviewer is looking for, and also what the designer or the interviewee wants to really say and what you have to say. Okay? Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching again. Damn right.